In today's show, I'm looking ahead to Saturday's games, New Year's Day. Happy New Year, Michael Bolton.
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy Basketball, your daily fantasy basketball podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Josh Lloyd and I am the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com and at Yahoo Sports Australia. And you can find me on Twitter, as always, at redrock_bball and on Instagram at Locked On Fantasy Basketball. This episode, I just blanked out there. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. Check out prizepicks.com, use the promo code NBA or go to your app store and download the app today. PrizePicks is daily fantasy made easy. Thank you for making Locked On Fantasy Basketball your first listen every day. We are free and available on all platforms. Also, shout out to you guys. New Year 2022. You might be ready to celebrate New Year's Eve over there in the United States. Hope you guys stay safe and have a great night. If you are here waking up and it's 1,000,000 degrees in Australia, I hope you had a good night last night. And thank you for everyone and everything that everyone has done for me in the 2021 year. Now that that's over, it's been the most successful year of this show and in my professional career, so that's been awesome, and it's thanks to you guys supporting and you're watching the shows and liking videos and sharing and all that sort of stuff. It's been awesome, and I'm really appreciative of it, and I hope 2022 is bigger. And now, let's talk about what we've got to look forward to on New Year's Day in the NBA. The Pelicans and the Bucks is the first game up. And the news with the New Orleans Pelicans is that Jonas Valanciunas is in the health and safety protocols.
Jonas Valanciunas.
Now, the move, probably, we saw 2 days ago, Valanciunas was ill with a non-COVID illness. Now he's got a COVID illness, so cool, whatever that means. When he was out the last two games, Billy Hernangomez started and played 32 and 23 minutes. Valanciunas returned, and wouldn't you know it, Jaxson Hayes was the backup center and played 24 minutes. So I want to know who's going to start. Logic would tell us it'll just probably be Billy. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that Billy just slides in as the starter. And it makes it hard to decide what we're doing in terms of, do we stream in Billy? Do we stream in Jaxson Hayes? I feel like it's almost a 50-50 split at this point. Given that literally over the last 3 games, we've seen Billy starting 2 of them, and then him basically out of the rotation in the most recent game, so Hayes gets the backup minutes. He played 6 minutes last game, Hernangomez. Hayes played 24. With Valanciunas back, they played together as well. So I want to see that. And I don't know whether Brandon Ingram or Josh Hart or Nickeil Alexander-Walker are going to play. So they're going to roll out Gary Clark again? Or could they start Hayes and Hernangomez together? There are a lot of things that could happen with this Pelicans team with all those absences. For the Bucks, they're just rolling, man. Drew Holiday's killing it. Maybe a slight sell high. I wouldn't. I'd just rather roll with it and enjoy what he's doing. We've already established that Grayson Allen, Dante DiVincenzo, and Pat Connaughton aren't 12-team league guys, so I'm not watching that one. I am watching Boogie Cousins, who did take some minutes off Punch Bob last game. Wouldn't say that he's going to push into 12-team league discussions, but in 16s, Boog's a really good option. And he's putting up some pretty good per-minute numbers. Let's go on to the next game. It is the Bulls and the Wizards. As I am recording this, the Chicago Bulls are in the middle of the game against the Indiana Pacers. I want to watch Kobe White, who will be, I assume, starting at point guard once again, with no Lonzo Ball, no Alex Caruso. So White's got an opportunity to build on some recent okay games. I don't believe in him long-term, as you're well aware, but let's see what he can do. And then I want to watch the skater boy, Zach LaVine. He's just been playing consistently well. He's not really blowing up and putting up gigantic numbers. Well, that's not true. They are gigantic. They're not like 20% better than last year or anything like that. But he's just been consistently good almost every game. I think one of those guys was a player that I just talked about in Brandon Ingram. They should just be consistently, in the last couple of years, consistently about the same every game. And that's sort of where LaVine is now. Not saying they're on the same level because LaVine is better, but he is putting up just consistent numbers right across the board. For the Wizards, they're in some real trouble because they have no Spencer Dinwiddie, their starting point guard. Their backup point guard, Aaron Holiday, is out. Their third-string point guard, Hal Neto, is out. Their replacement player, starter from last game, point guard Brad Wanamaker, is out. So who are they starting at point guard? They do have a bunch of guards that they have signed recently. They've got Cassius Winston on a two-way. They've got Joel Ayayi on a two-way. They have the old swordsman, Craig Sword. He's more of a 2 than a 1. They've got Jordan Shackle, who's more of a 2. There's Jordan Goodwin, just loading up on Jordans. Or do they start Bradley Beal at point guard and then go big with KCP at the 2 and Avdia at the 3? That's what I would do. But they didn't last game. They put Wanamaker in there. But your options are Ayayi, Winston, and really Goodwin. Are one of those blokes going to start? Man, I don't know. Seems pretty rough. But I do think there's going to be more here for Avdia, and he can be a streamer. And then KCP. Good opportunity for him with no Dinwiddie, Hachimura, Harrell, Neto, Holiday, Wanamaker, and Bryant. He's going to get more opportunities. He's going to get more minutes. I don't think he remains a must-roster 12-team league guy all season, KCP. But for now, he's a short-term stream option for us, given the way that he has been playing. But if you want to get in there and have a look at KCP's over-under on his points, or his assists, or his steals, and you want to chuck that in with Joel Ayayi, because PrizePicks lets you do it. PrizePicks is a daily fantasy prop game that makes daily fantasy easy. That's what PrizePicks does. It's not just like other DFS prop games where they only have the superstars. You can get your Joel Ayayis or your Jordan Goodwins or a bloke by the name of Jamie Etchenik. I honestly don't know how to say it. Is it Jamie? Is it Jaime? Etchenik? I don't know. PrizePicks will have him though. What PrizePicks does, it offers you any prop. Points, assists, rebounds, steals, blocks, whatever. And you just get them. 2 or 5 different ones. You pick it. Ayayi, over under 3 assists. I'm making that number up, but get that in there. Bradley Beal, over under 27 points. Combine them together up to 5, and you can win up to 10 times your entry fee. So when you go to sign up at PrizePicks.com, use the code NBA. You get a 100% match deposit bonus up to $100. And it's not just basketball. They can do mixed sport entries. So you can throw in a KCP over under 13 points with a Patrick Mahomes over under 3 interceptions. I don't know what the line is. Maybe it is 3. Maybe it's 1. I got no idea. But chuck those together and you can do that. That's what PrizePicks offers. So go to PrizePicks.com right now. Use the promo code NBA or you go to the App Store and download the app. PrizePicks is daily fantasy made easy. If you're not playing PrizePicks, you honestly don't know what you're missing. Okay. Let's go to the next game. It is the San Antonio Spurs and the Detroit Pistons. I want to watch my man.
Maximum Derek.
No DeJounte Murray. It is a back-to-back for San Antonio. Derek White's been playing pretty well. Actually, no, there is no. We're not sure that DeJounte's not going to play. No, he's not going to play. So we're going to get more DeJounte. We're going to get more Derek White at point guard, which has been really, really good lately. I also want to watch Jock Landale, who's playing a very good role as the backup center. He's moved ahead again of Thad Young and Drew Eubanks, and that's a deep league valuable player. He's not pushing into 12 or 14 team league discussions, but if Pirtle got hurt, I'd grab Landale. If Pirtle goes into protocols again, I'd grab Landale. For the Pistons, there is a chance, it's not confirmed at the time of me recording this, well, it's not, we don't know either way, that Cunningham, Stewart, Hayes, Lee could all be back from COVID protocols. These guys were out, like Killian Hayes was out on the 21st of December. That's 10 days. We know there's the 6-day period now. Cunningham, Stewart, Hayes, 23rd. That's 6 days are up. They could return for this Saturday game. They might not, but they all could return. So I've got Cade Cunningham there as a name to watch, but it's watching Cunningham, Stewart, Hayes, Lee, whether those guys return. Now, I don't think Joseph or Lyles or Josh Jackson are close to returning. We know Frank Jackson, Jeremy Grant, and Kelly Olynyk are out, but there could be at least one guy back, maybe Hayes, and maybe 4 in Cunningham, Stewart, Hayes, and Lee. They could come back. Now, with the fact that Frank Jackson is out and Corey Joseph's out and Trey Lyles is out and Grant and Olynyk are out, it's still going to mean that MC Hamadou Diallo has a pretty big role. But if Cunningham and Stewart and Lee are there, then that role will decrease, I think. So watching how he integrates will be very, very interesting after a recently really good game last time out for Diallo. The Clippers and the Brooklyn Nets. Couple of interesting things for the Clippers. Reggie Jackson is likely to return. We don't know. It is a back-to-back for them Friday, Saturday. He's currently listed questionable for Friday. We do expect Reggie back. So what does it mean for Eric Bledsoe, who's been playing 30-plus minutes? But because Paul George is out, do they play more Bledsoe at the 2 and help out there and he keeps it 30 minutes? I don't know. But the other thing that's important, of course, Isaiah Hartenstein is out. But Ivica Zubac is out as well. Now, Serge Ibaka, who's been bad, he's probably going to have to start. And who's their backup? Well, they signed Wenyen Gabriel. Wenyen Gabriel is a very interesting player. Watch for him, because if Serge can't get it done, which is pretty likely, there is potentially 20 minutes of Wenyen there. Now, they can play Marcus Morris at the 5, but they also don't have Nick Batum, who also helps fill in to push Morris to the 5. So no Paul George and no Batum means that it is harder to get Morris up to the 5. Just watch Wenyen Gabriel. For the Nets, Nick Claxton, will he start next to Aldridge? Will he get 30 minutes again? That is a really, really key thing. And we saw last game with the return of Kevin Durant that Patty Mills lost a ton of value. Is that going to be the norm moving forward? I tend to think so, but I want to watch how the Claxton-Mills combination goes here. The Nuggets and the Rockets. The Nuggets hit with some COVID absences, including, I believe, their coach, Dr. Michael Malone. Get well, Doc. I don't know whether Gordon or Morris will play, and even Austin Rivers himself is questionable with a thumb issue, but there are big minutes available with Jeff Green out, the big stiffy Bones Highland out as well, and maybe Gordon and Morris and Rivers all out. There are big opportunities for a bunch of players to get more minutes, and that includes Campazzo. It includes Austin Rivers if he does play. Some really big minutes available. And I think Faku, if this game actually goes ahead, and I don't even know, they haven't announced who all their replacement signings are. They need replacement signings. Rajon Tucker was one of them, but Davon Reed was re-signed as well. Reed's going to be an interesting guy to watch as well, but they probably need some more, especially if Gordon, Morris, Rivers, Chanchar are all out, in addition to Green, Highland, Najee, Howard, Murray, Porter, and Dozier. There's a lot of guys out. Watching how that all goes down is interesting. While Houston, it is a back-to-back for them. There was some talk earlier in the week that Kevin Porter and Jalen Green, they said they wouldn't play the back-to-backs, but they said back-to-backs as in not just the first ones, but maybe the upcoming ones. And we need to see whether they play in this game. And if they don't, then we're looking at Josh Christopher. Hopefully can step up into a nice role. Jayshawn Tate is likely to be out, but KJ Martin is off the injury report. So I hope that we get an elevated role for KJ. I love seeing what KJ can do when he plays those big minutes, and I think we might get that opportunity here. The last game of the day is the Warriors. They are taking on the Utah Jazz, and we are going to get, fingers crossed, Jordan Poole returning. Now, the other news from the Warriors is that Steve Kerr said as soon as Klay Thompson is ready to go, he will be starting. So that's not going to be great for Jordan Poole, and his value pool will almost definitely move to the bench. So you've got a week, 2 weeks to get to sell high on Jordan Poole. But if he has a huge game here, you're selling any top 80 guy you get back in a trade, you do it. And then with Draymond likely out again, Otto Porter, just watching the Porter, Iguodala, Toscano Anderson, Kuminga, Payton minutes, how they all go down. And can Porter be relevant? Probably not. But on a 6-game slate, you can stream him in. Well, for the Jazz, Joe Ingles, we know he hasn't been a must-roster 12-team league guy. They will get Donovan Mitchell back. He's going to play on Friday. And likely Mike Conley will play. Conley's resting the Friday game on the back-to-back and will play on the Saturday. So how do Ingles and Gay, how does their value look? Because it's been up the last couple without Mitchell, and now it'll be up again on Friday without Conley. But how does it look when they go back to full strength, which is I assume they will? While Ingles also is dealing with a back injury of his own. So if he is out, how do they replace him? Is it Jared Butler, Trent Forrest, Mia One? Or is it just more for Rudy Gay? There are different ways that they can go about that. Of course, that brings me to tell you that it is a new year here. It's 2022, and 2022 is the year of Built Bar, because I don't want sugary treats. Get that garbage out of here. That's a 2021 problem. This is 2022. We're living in the future. We've got flying cars and shit. But not only that, we have delicious treats that are low in calories, and that is Built Bar. Low in fat, low in carbs, low in sugar as well, but high in protein, and absolutely high on the Josh Lloyd patented bloody deliciousness meter. They are right at the top. They are bursting that thing through the roof. Built Bar, so many amazing flavors. You're going to get absolutely jacked and love doing it. So head to Built.com, use the promo code LOCKED15, LOCKED15, and get 15% off. And you think if I'm talking these things up too much, and if you think I'm exaggerating, I'm bloody not. These are the best tasting protein bars you will ever find. I'm telling you now, they taste amazing. Just chuck your treats out. Forget your treats. You're not going to want them. You're going to want things that make you go, whoo, look at my muscles. I'm going to kiss them. And you're going to be saying, and my calories are coming down. How good? Like Incredible Hulk, let's go. Go to Built.com. Use the promo code LOCKED15. Built Bar is built different. Okay. Streams for Saturday. Billy Hernangomez, I've got at the top of that list. I feel absolutely not confident at all because I don't know what they're going to do with him and Hayes. So that could just be an interchangeable Hernangomez for Hayes. Whoever it is, that's who we stream. Serge Ibaka, Josh Christopher. If I, as I assume, we're going to have Green and or Porter out. Lonnie Walker.
Hello.
KJ Martin, DeMarcus Cousins, Andre Iguodala, Corey Kispert, Rudy Gay, Dougie McDirt. Deeper leagues, all those names still apply, but we also look at the following blokes. We're looking at Javonte Green, the designer Armani Brooks, the Shark Bruce Brown,
Baby shark,
Kevon Looney, Juan Toscano Anderson, Jackson Hayes, James Johnson, Jock Landale, Davon Reed, and George Hill. And then for points leagues, Billy Hernangomez, Nick Claxton, Hamadou Diallo, Denny Avdia, Devin Vassell, Serge Ibaka, Facu Campazzo, Eric Gordon, Kobe White, and Terrence Mann. And guys, that'll do it for me today. I didn't do it on the one show today, New Year's Day. I'm just not got a lot of other shit to do. But I only did the one show today. We'll be back tomorrow with a Week 12 preview as well as a what to watch for. Always going to have tons of content out. Might even have some sneaker unboxings dropping over on Instagram, and I might put them up on YouTube as well. So check those out. Follow this podcast, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, and on the Odyssey app. If you're here on YouTube, thumb it up, leave your comments down below. Guys, we are done here. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. See ya.